Asuma, oh Asuma, you're the greatest up in history. From the Hermit of Craft, you're about to hit a jungle tree. I'm not dead. I'm not dead. Huh. Oh, the totem. Oh, I don't have any armor on. Oh, thank goodness I'm not dead. I, my friends, am a lucky boy. I was recording, I was mid-flight, and I got pulled away from the computer. And when I came back, I expected to, find myself completely dead. And that's because I was flying back from this location over here, where we are going to be building a new tower. Now, if you didn't see the end of the last episode, then you're kind of in for a treat as you don't know what the design of this tower looks like. We're just going to work on it a bit at a time whilst doing other things. I don't really know what the plan is, but I was planning on showing you something and conducting a little bit of a skin change. I think that's why I actually had my armor off, which, you know, made things worse. Might have not have died or used the totem if it was for this armor. So, hey, something really cool happened earlier on the server today. Let's check it out. So I had been on the server all morning doing odds and sods and building, and then I decided to park myself in the nether for a little bit. There's now an orange waiting room over there, and that was because this thing was on, I think, yellow, and you know, I just kept coming back, checking the computer every now and then. No one else had pressed the button, and that meant I finally got to do it. Press the button on the final level, the red one. We've done it. We won the game, I think. And so I have evolved to my final form. We are now a red belt. Have we won the game? What was the point of the game? I'm not even sure, but I spent a lot of time staring at a button. And by the way, don't tell Cub Fan, okay? We are still on the green team. I'm going to wear this red robe for a day, and then I'm probably going to put my green skin back on and make my membership of the green team official. But, you know, between you and me, keep it a secret. We got the red belt. So I figured what I would do is just use up all of my terracotta. This is pretty much the last of it, and see how far along we got. And we built the bulk of the base right here, which is good. So before I head over to the mesa to tear up loads more of this stuff and fill up some shulker boxes, there's a few things I can comment on here. Where the cyan terracotta ends in these two spots, and yes, I've missed a few blocks, that's actually where the original base was. So you can see I've almost doubled this up in height. Now that is because I didn't want the bulk of this tower to be below the canopy, and so you can see where the main part of the tower starts. There's just one or two trees slightly higher than this, so the majority of the thing is going to be very visible. And down here I've kind of left a tree in place, and I was thinking one of the things we might do is actually build up the undergrowth and all the leaves down here to kind of hide the height of this bone block structure a fair bit. But I also have plans to have a path leading up to the front of this thing and a proper entrance, so I don't really know where that idea is going to go. So, here it is, almost 9 full shulker boxes of terracotta. My goodness me. And that of course comes with a lot of knackered and worn out tools. And I very much need to get out of here because that is the very last of my food. Now before we go to repair our tools, let's just take a moment here to appreciate how much of the landscape the hermits have decimated together. And now we're all repaired up again thanks to Iskal's gold farm. My inventory just had enough room to squeeze all the tools in here. So rather than go up layer by layer, I thought what we would do is just build things a section at a time. So we got our honey block lighting system that goes up the side here. There is glowstone behind the honey, as you can see, and the frame of the landing bay up the top, and I think that's actually what I'm going to choose to build next. But first I need to make a purchase. All of that hanging around building up in the sky kind of reminded me I could fall to my death, and we don't have a totem at the moment. And my first order of business is to actually get rid of the totem of undying. I think Keralis has just read my mind. Let's see what he does. Yes, he knows, he knows. So yeah, it's a brand new day. I enjoyed being red for a while, but now I need to make my green team participation official. Oh, here we go. Here we go. One more strike. There. Oh, goodness me, I had a big score. Oh yeah, I had tons of levels of XP as well. And I set my spawn right here, so we're good. and apparently on fire. Yeah, just on fire and bouncing up and down on the water. Oh, there we go. Oh, he's doing it again. He's doing it again. He wants a head as well. You know, why not make a few? Go on then, why not make a few? He's got one, I've got one. I think that's all he wanted. So underneath Scar's beautiful treehouse here in the Nether, there is a little sign-up board, and that's why I needed my head. I wanted to come and plop this down over here and make my participation of the green team official. Iskall wants me to sleep, and it's a little mob farm down there where my bed is, so we'll stay away, but I have some good news, and that is that the landing bay has been complete. No surprise there. I mean, you're probably expecting me to say that, but I've also built the top of the tower around it. It looks a little bit funky floating up here on its own, but this means we now got a safe and secure space to throw down our ender chests and our shulker boxes. And so now I can start to work on the rest of the building. So it might look like it's done on this side, but over here we're missing white concrete. I've now used up all of the supply that I had from our blast chamber. Let's fly over to it. It's still out of action. So now I've got to do things the boring way. Well, mining up 3 shulker boxes worth of concrete will really chew through a pick. However, I managed to make this interesting for myself by using the clicker at the same time, so I could kind of semi-AFK and go through all of the different colours, because you can only really do one colour at a time. And so what I did is I just did some writing, and this is something I don't really mention in my videos very often, and I don't have a link in my description box down below. I've been writing music blogs for albums that I listen to for years. I've actually written over 1,000 articles, and so I did a little bit of writing when doing this. It was a good way to do the grind. Anyway, there'll be a link to that in the description box if it interests you at all. So cast your mind back a couple of episodes ago, we made a deal with Stress Monster to get some free potions. I've been providing her with fire resistance and health potions and other ingredients, and now we get free access to her shop to take whatever potions we need. And no, I'm not going to abuse this and empty out chests. I would like to use some slow falling, so I thought I'd come over here and just pick up a handful of potions. So let's give this a shot. Let's have a chug on the potion, and it should make looking at the tower here a little easier. Yeah, you can actually see it as I gently drift in. Now let's go downwards and then turn. Yeah, if I'm further away we can look at it easier. That's what I need the slow falling for, okay? It makes it so much easier for us to focus on the tower. Now you might be expecting me to go in here and start working on the sheep farm, but I kind of like it when we have several projects to work on in an episode. So we're actually going to go and mess about in a space over there where I've got an idea for another farm that we need to build. But off in the distance, you might notice that this thing now has a top on it. And you know what, I just had to pull my finger out. I kept looking at it and not being sure what to do, and I decided to just follow that kind of inwards trend and build it up. And it's ended up looking really fantastic, and I sort of feel like maybe we should put something up here, like an Eye of Sauron, except not evil. And actually, let's go in. You'll see behind me here that, yeah, it's not quite finished just yet. I decided to take my wings off. just gently drifting down, don't mind me. Landing on the canopy. So this row of glowing honey right here to fill in the gap, that's going to be our finishing touch on this one. And if something hits me, I might put like another crystally type object up there in the top. But otherwise, I'm very happy with how that one over there has turned out. By the way, since we've switched to lithium, the render distance has been pushed up. I've noticed some comments from people pointing out, for example, you can see Etho's base over there in the distance when I'm hanging out in the area. And it does mean that my idea for placing towers and farms in positions where they won't be loaded when I'm doing other things, that's kind of gone out the window. But since we're not struggling with lag anymore, it's not really an issue. And anyway, it was flying over Etho's base the other day that I noticed something off in the distance, which kind of reminded me of this project that I wanted to do. We, my friends, are going to gather up some bamboo as we need to create an automatic fuel source, right? And I've got an interesting idea on how we can create a farm that kind of gets incorporated into our jungle in an organic way. But first of all, going to come over here, chop all of this down, and gather up loads and loads of bamboo. And I'll tell you what, I absolutely love that sound. It's so satisfying. Oh, beautiful. So what I've set up here and let grow is temporary, so I can show you the concept for harvesting all of this bamboo, which will involve slime block flying machines and then minecart hoppers to pick up the items underneath, which they can do absolutely fine. Now there is potentially a slight problem if we have a bamboo hitbox like this and then an item lands on top of it. Almost. There we go. There we go. We might have a potential problem here. However, the slime block of the flying machine might also push all of this off. But there is another issue. If we were to have this thing roll up and down a hill, the minecart hopper below won't be able to pick up the blocks right here. And if we had a block there, it would stop the minecart hopper. But in the process of putting this all together, I kind of realized I've been picturing the flying machine going across from left to right like this. If we were to have the flying machine go across in sections in this direction, then we could actually include a natural organic landscape of hills into the bamboo farm. This is gonna make more sense as we get further along with this. Moment of truth time. When we put this here, it should activate the flying machine. Oh, maybe it's supposed to go on that one. I intentionally leave out the blocks below so I don't activate the machine by mistake. Let's go put this trapdoor on top now. And there it is, off it goes, and there it is, harvesting the bamboo. So first observation, we are definitely getting some of the items landing on top of the bamboo. That's absolutely fine. So the machine is making its way back, and now we can see it's actually pushing off all of those items that ended up on the top. That is simply terrific. Let's now talk about the next concept for these flying machines, okay? They could be hidden further back in the jungle, and as long as the slime blocks don't touch anything other than leaves, we can potentially actually hide these machines inside the jungle, which is something I'm aiming to do. I talked about this thing looking organic, right? And maybe we can do that by hiding the flying machine, because when you look at the field of bamboo, you're not going to see any redstone or any stuff like that, and we can actually have it hidden under the canopy of the jungle itself. Let's try and put all the pieces of the puzzle together here with a little demonstration. We're going to have flying machines that go back and forth, and the collection systems below will go in the same direction, and the terrain above it will be flat so we can pick everything up. But then in between, that's where we have the opportunity to create some hills. It's going to be a lot bigger than just a one block gap, but you can kind of see the point, right? And then we can make the next flying machine go through, have another gap for hills, and then another flying machine. So this means we've got collection systems below to get the stuff, but on the surface, we're trying to make this look organic, and of course we're going to be hiding our slime machines behind the edges of the jungle. Well, this is a very strange and odd looking place, isn't it? It used to be a biome full of podzol, and then I came in here, started ripping it all out, and the grass has been spreading underneath, and the whole place just looks a little strange. But podzol is the material I actually wanted to use as the floor of our farm where the bamboo is going to grow. So hopefully, you know, this will be enough for our needs. So it's been a while since we referred to this map of the world. We've got our shopping district. I am located over here in the jungle, and the place that we went to was all the way past these witch huts. This is actually a massive mega taiga biome, so there is no shortage of podzol over in this area. And of course, I did my due diligence in this place and went to one of the furthest parts away from where all the hermits are, just in case anyone ever, you know, comes close to this area. And look at that, you can kind of see this area here, where I've ripped out all of the podzol. I've got the feeling that this farm is going to output a crazy amount of bamboo. The area that it covers here is just extraordinary. Took me quite a lot of time to place down all of the blocks. And I did have plans to take it further back in this direction, but kind of scrapped that. I think this is going to be enough. And depending on what angle you look at it, you can kind of see the flats going across the middle, and then sometimes you don't really see that. And I think once there's loads of bamboo growing all over this, it's pretty much going to look quite authentic and natural, which is what we want. I think my right click button is going to break soon because I've just been clicking like a madman. And as I was putting it down, I was thinking, this is going to look too thick to feel like an authentic bamboo forest, but that's fine because we've still got a long way to go with this project, and I'm thinking we'll probably tear out some of the bamboo in the areas that don't get farmed and put in some little features like trees and pockets of lava and I don't know, some other details to break up all of this bamboo. So when this thing is finished, I am very confident it is going to look amazing. So from afar, this thing looks really quite thick and dense, and it doesn't blend into the area around it too well, but that is something that we can address with time. And the reason I say time is because it's probably going to take a lot of live streams and grinding, going around and doing things like this, putting in bamboos around the edge, but having them spaced out, and then also throwing in some things like trees in the middle and little clusters of leaves. And I've also gone around and just broken up the density by breaking a few bamboo here and there. So there will be a lot of me doing this, just sort of wandering around and occasionally breaking them up. It's all grindy stuff that'll just sort of take place, and as we work on the project you should see the overall look improve. I'm stuck. Let's break it and let's go underneath, because the next step now is to actually start to use this farm. While we're developing the look of it and making it a part of our jungle, we also want this thing to be up and running. So down the bottom here, I'm going to be placing in some stone bricks and then putting rails on top of them going from left to right. They are going to of course have minecart hoppers to pick up all of the bamboo that drops from this farm. My problem now though is gold. Okay, so we have that much gold and we have this many powered rails. I think I might just be able to scrape by and get one of these set up, but of course we've got another 2 to build and I kind of in need of a gold farm. By the way, that is beautiful. Every time I see it, I'm like, that turned out really great. We are here for the portal, by the way, and the farm that we set up in the previous episode, and this is my entrance as of right now. We are going to hook it up with a proper entrance. Remember, one of the plans for this base is to be able to walk everywhere as well as fly. But for now, I'm just here to see how much gold we've made, and I'm not expecting a lot. Yeah, that's pretty reasonable. I mean, I've hardly been near this portal, but every little helps. Our second location is below our squid farm. And since we put glass in this thing, zombie pigmen I don't think are able to fall down to the bottom here, but before they were able to, and this means that we accumulated a tiny bit of gold over time as well. So I managed to scrape together 53 gold ingots. Fingers crossed this is enough for our rail farm, otherwise I'm going to have to be building a gold farm. I've got an idea in mind, but maybe we'll do that in another episode. And it looks like that'll be the plan because we've got enough powered rails here for this first section. However, we've got to build 2 more and I do not have enough gold for that. As you can see, it's rather large, and then it drops down here where we have a rapid fire unloading system. So what this does is it creates a clock with observers to fire into these droppers when the items come through. And then underneath there is a water stream to send it over here. This part is definitely temporary as we're going to have to hook up all 3 of these to one massive item moving system and then one giant storage system as well. For now though, we want to see this thing in action, right? And it is actually going to be ready for a test run. So buried deep in the jungle, you can kind of make out 1 or 2 of the blocks. Yeah, this thing's been hidden away, which is terrific. But we also got to hook this thing up with like redstone and then make that hidden as well. So that's going to be another challenge. So I forgot about the slime blocks down below again. Anyway, let's put that there to activate it. And this is it, like moment of truth time. Okay, all of the minecart hoppers are spitting out items and off goes that one to the side. So you can see that there is still a lot of items on the ground here. But they will eventually all get picked up. I should probably get out of the way here. And the flying machine hasn't returned. It's taken a part of the redstone with it. That observer there is not supposed to be in that spot. And looking out now down this bamboo field here, yeah, it looks like pretty much all of the items are gone. And it's been less than 5 minutes. I think maybe when the bamboos grow, they'll also pop out any item on top of them off to the side. So that means that our minecart hoppers will pick up more and more bamboo. This is just excellent. And down below, our temporary collection system is definitely flawed. I saw a load of bamboo. Look, we've got some caught in the block there, which I tried to fix with leaves, and I saw a lot of it getting caught on the end here, but eventually we'll make a proper system for picking this all up. And we've got crazy amounts of bamboo. There has been some serious multiplication of bamboo this episode. We didn't start off with a lot, but now I've got shulker boxes full of this stuff. And my overall plan for it is to make a mega smelter with endless fuel coming from our bamboo forest. For now though, I'm going to help Corrales again with his kelp smelter and get this thing stocked up with fuel. Manually stocking this thing with bamboo has made me realise that the speed of the hoppers moving the items isn't fast enough for the rate at which this will consume the bamboo, which one or two of them is running off of. So that's something to consider for our own array in the future, that we need to be able to deliver the bamboo to the furnaces fast enough. For now though, I am out of bamboo and I am out of here. Also, Corrales is building a road that's going to go out towards the jungle over here and start to connect our two bases together. I'm so excited for it, it's going to be amazing. And right now, I'm really loving all of the projects that we got going on. Next episode looks like we're going to be working on a gold farm, and soon we'll build the sheep farm. There is so much going on in our base, it is really fantastic. But this is where I'm wrapping up today's episode, so if you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like. As always, thank you for your support, and I'll see you soon with another episode of Hermitcraft. Bye bye.